Yeah, that's
Oh,
actually
okay.
her.
Is this thing on?
Good
Awesome.
morning,
Live.
Vietnam. How are we? We're here. We're here. We're
Yeah,
2 minutes
here.
late, but we're here. We're here.
we're here.
Welcome to this week's Uncensored Radio. You see our live. We're back again and ready to get in the trenches and fight the good fight against all the bullshit that happens this week.
Sometimes
As
we
per
are the
usual.
bullshit.
Sometimes we are the bullshit. We are the bad things that happen to good people. I think,
Yeah.
I think we were going to put that on a shirt once upon a time, but it never happened. But yeah, we are the bad things that happen to good people. But we have fun while we're doing it.
We
Oh,
do.
Tim, we've missed your face. How are you?
All right. Yeah, good. I had to take a break last week for a elementary school music and chorus recital. So while I wasn't being tortured here, I was being tortured there. So,
Well,
but we got ice cream afterwards with the grandparents. So all is well.
oh, you're a good boy and you got ice cream. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Indeed.
always important. It was always important to make sure that you behave yourself and you get ice cream.
That's it.
Good things come to those who wait, right? And wait.
And wait.
And wait. And wait through the recital, but that's all good. How are things at the offices of Christina and Co. today?
Wonderful. It
Wonderful.
doesn't seem to be hitting the fan, so everything's pretty good. I can't complain. My kid's sick, but that's really it.
Oh.
But other than that, I'm not complaining. It's been an okay week. So
An okay week.
Getting
Wow,
by.
that's so
Getting by.
thrilling.
right,
So full of enthusiasm.
taking it day by day. Really,
Taking
yeah.
it
All
day
you can
by
do
day.
sometimes.
I love it. That's great.
Right.
Our lady, the actress star of stage and screen, Miss Vera, is here. Hey, V.
Hi, kids. Had a very eventful week. Some of you may know I've been on the negotiating team for my union. We've reached a tentative agreement for our contract, so here's
Nice.
hoping it passes.
I hope it does too. We've had some good union stuff happen for nursing here, so it's been nice. Yeah.
He was the county's lawyer was trying to stick it to the nurses. He said there were some things in our MOA that were needed to be rethunk. I'm like, no, they don't.
Rethunk. Oh gosh.
I just had a phone call from God. So
You did?
How
Yeah.
is he?
I don't
How
know.
does he feel about this week's event?
I didn't answer because I'm on stage. Hi, Lashana. How are you? Long time no see.
Hi,
Welcome,
Lashana.
welcome. And Luke, you're here with us today. Hey.
I am here. I'm not doing anything exciting today. I want to have a chill day, except I'm going to get my face nuked. I'm starting to get like stubble coming back. It's not a good look. I started watching Evil Dead Rise in preparation to do an uncensored horror. I don't know how I feel just as yet. There's a lot of Rob Zombie Hep C happening for me. I'm not cool.
A very busy day for a very busy
Yes.
boy.
Very busy.
That's good.
Oh, and I've been producing other people's careers.
Oh, very busy.
Yes.
Okay.
The one and only Miss
Busy.
Katrina A. Johnson. She's been a busy girl. Busy
Yes.
girl.
I don't want to announce it yet until it's announced.
Yeah, we'll see.
But maybe if you watch one of our old interviews from March, you might get a little hint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, guys. Lashana's mum was a nurse and a professor. There you go.
Oh, cool.
We're surrounded by nurses everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let's all self-diagnose. There you go. That sounds right. Ah, have mercy, Jeffrey Emmett.
Oh,
How are you
Jeffrey.
today, sir?
This is
Jeff
the second night in a
Reese.
row Jeff stood me up.
He's a busy girl.
Yeah.
He's making that.
I know.
He's making
I've
that
heard
bread
the
quite
story.
literally. Quite literally. You know, he's a busy boy. Now, if you were not tuning in during the week, you definitely missed out on some hot gossip, right, Christina?
Oh my god.
Well, I
That was
started
So
to watch
let's
it, but it was not suitable for work, and I
It
was like,
was not
"Oh
suitable.
Oh
Not
no.
no!"
suitable for work.
As
Christina,
soon as there
No.
was,
since you were the only one on the panel, how did you feel about our very first episode of Uncensored Confessions?
I want more. I want more, but and I hope that like when you answer people that they answer back.
I
Like,
know, we have to
I
know.
need to know more. Like, especially the second one. Like the second one really threw me for a loop because of like the situation that the guy was in, and I mean, in the first one, honestly,
So now Christina
no
is
words.
we did record two at once with the Miss Katrina,
Yeah.
the wonderful Miss Katrina A. Johnson. She was free, so we grabbed her and we bunkered down and recorded two episodes. So the second one, if you thought the first one was good, the second one takes
Wait
us
for the
into
second.
unexplored territory, and trust me, the rest of
well,
them.
it's concerning now because what kind of people are watching our show? If
I
these
think
are
we
the
know.
sort of
Oh,
Oh, I know. That's what we were saying. Oh
I think
man.
we know.
Censors?
There
What?
is. Well, look, they're all okay. Except for one. There is
Yeah, except for
one.
one.
There is one
Which-
that I'm going to have to censor, and I know it's against our brand, but
Which
we will
one?
not get away. We will not
Have
get
you not
away with
recorded
what
it yet?
No, with what this lady
Oh,
says.
I
The
need
way
to be
she-
on it. I need to
the
be
way
on
she-
it, please.
The way she typed up this, I was like, oh, she went right in there. Quite literally. I was like, okay. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to this week's show, this week's shows, and check out Uncensored Confessions. It is a write-in show. So if you have a confession, a problem, an issue, and you would like to get it off your chest, you can write in completely anonymously and share your story. There is a link.
Anonymous. Throw them
Anonymous.
off.
Anonymously.
Completely anonymous.
That
It
post
is
is
completely
pinned on our
anonymous.
page, right?
It is pinned at the top of the Facebook page. It is on our TikTok. It is on our Instagram. Please, please, please keep feeding the beast because we
Give us
love
the dirt.
it. We love
I
it.
need it.
But
I
we
need more.
did try after our initial shock. We did try to
Oh, we gave you
solve
good
some
advice.
problems. I think we got.
Yeah.
I watched it back. I was like, we're smart sometimes, you guys. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we're quite intelligent. It's like, what's going on with our brains?
Every
Shit,
once in a
fuck.
while, like, you know.
Every once in a while we do some, serious journalism, but
I was going to say, we don't want to go against our brand, do we?
but as I say that, let's dive into this week.
Hot load of hot topics.
As always, the shaking bosoms of Miss Katrina A. Johnson can only mean that it is time to dive into the muck of this week's news. Look, I shouldn't be smiling.
Yeah, why that happy sigh?
I shouldn't be.
know.
I shouldn't
Someone's
be smiling.
having a bad day, aren't they? Ugh.
Oh.
Someone's
Okay, so what's this about?
been charged with sexual assault. I wonder
Well,
why.
actually, no.
Oh well,
It was
pussies everywhere.
Wasn't it?
Pussies everywhere can breathe a sigh of relief. Let's put it that way.
Okay, listeners, we're looking
They
at a
shot
photo of
Hey.
and
Trump.
grabbed.
It was a civil case. It was not a criminal
Vera.
case. He can only be
Got it.
found liable. He cannot be found guilty. Though he definitely libeled her again last night on the town hall.
Of
So
course
he
you
may
did.
be in trouble again for libel and defamation, but he was found liable in the lawsuit against E. Jean Carroll. They could not prove that he raped her. There was no preponderance of proof for that, but they found him definitely liable for the sexual assault and liable for the defamation.
I
To the
did see a
tune of
very
$5 million,
yeah. It's
which-
not a small chunk of change.
especially when you're broke, like we suspect he is.
I did see one post that said that they couldn't prove it was rape because they couldn't decide if it was a finger or his penis. I was like, oh, kick a man while he's down. That's not okay.
He didn't
So-
stay down for long. He came out swinging last night on
Of
that
course
town
he did.
hall.
He came out stomping his feet and asking for his bottle and demanding.
Everybody's
think-
being mean to me.
I think it's interesting that we are now we are now technically liable. We won't say guilty for sexual assault, defamation. What else? Are we? No, the taxes are still up in the air.
Guilty in the case of misusing not-for-profit funds for the
Correct.
Cancer. That was a guilty.
Yep, the taxes are still up there. And
still
still
investigation for the taxes.
And still
it's just all a pylon on Trump. It's just not wrong.
Oh, shut up. And still
pylon if you did the fucking crime.
He's the dude. He's the one that like, yep, this is the best of us. I was like, that's the baby Simba you drop from Pride Rock. You know, no, you're like, bye. You don't get to the opening titles of Lion King with that one. It's just like, oh boy, really. I love it. It's kind of poetic that it seems to be women that are taking him down though as well, like that are doing these big blows against his public image. And so I was like, Stormy is who would have thought Stormy Daniels would have been the beginning of the downfall of
yeah.
Who would have thought she'd be relevant in 2023?
Ladies and gentlemen, sex workers do important work. They do important work. They do very. And she's like,
I'm posting all across this country.
I've been saying that since I'm 13. I do very important work.
But she's a smart girl. She's out there like doing TV shows and stuff now. She's like, this is it. This is the 15 minutes. Go for it. She's like hosting TV shows.
The iron cod. I don't begrudge anybody striking.
She's horrible at it, but she's like, I'm like, you've got about as much personality as the desk I'm sitting at.
More famous.
Well, she's certainly an actress.
Well, then I'm not really keen on her movies then, if she's just like...
right?
we know
she's done the Stormy film.
Hey, we know she's a good actress. She managed to, survive an encounter with Donald Trump. Oh, I'm so turned on. Oh, I'm voice. Oh, I feel sick at the thought. But yeah, I guess this is more to be continued after he had a little foot stamp and went, I'm not happy about it, and now I may have just gotten myself in even more trouble.
But
like the PR people can't just.
So what did he say about his accuser that's going to get him in trouble? What did he say? I'm not aware.
He said she was a liar and he never met that woman and she wasn't. He said all the same things he's been saying all along.
Even though there's photos of them together.
Even though there's photos of him looking at her and calling her Marla.
Marla, I live. He's got daddy dementia too. I love it. They need to put him and Joe in a room together and see how long it takes to forget who they are. It's going to be good.
Joe.
it's going to be so. He's already like past the prime of that moment where you're like, you need to take the phone off Grandpa. It's like, just don't let. Who is letting this man have his own social media? It's just like, but without him,
I don't know. Who's changing their diapers? That's what I want to know.
There's some chunky diapers. Without him, like, we wouldn't have news. So I do agree. But where's Marge? Where is Marge? She's been awfully quiet.
I think she's under investigation too for financial fraud. She's definitely under investigation right now for fraud.
Where's Lauren?
That one I don't know. I haven't seen her. Maybe she's keeping her mouth shut because if they can find it on Marjorie, they can find it on her.
And we all know her husband's one rogue swinging dick. It's like, oh God, watch out. Watch out for the moment. It's coming for everybody. Marjorie, but I just think it's funny that, he's been found liable, and the female supporters that are like, he's the god of everything. And they're like,
how many women were running around with a T-shirt on that said he can grab mine?
Oh, why would you?
I mean, come on.
Why would you subject yourself to that kind of horror?
Come on. That's pretty funny. Come on.
That's like willingly going to an abattoir.
This might be a cult.
It's like we're only going to see how the hamburger is made. Like, you don't do that to yourself. You don't do that to yourself. Maybe they want to become nuns. Who knows? Like, that'd do it for you. That'd do it for you. Now, there was
Carol
another...
claims he ruined her life.
Well, yeah, she's... Oh, look, I wouldn't want him touching my bits. That's all I'm saying. There was another, actually, world famous event. Speaking of old men in power.
Old men.
Old men in power.
Listen.
Look at all.
Stop talking about Camilla like that.
Who are they?
Camilla?
All right. So, yes, we're talking about the coronation. I think we have a general age of what? 75? 75. I love the lady on our right that's being held up on either side. She's like, I'm here.
I didn't notice that.
I thought this was the only.
Do you reckon they all hung around after the coronation for her funeral? We're all dressed.
So the youngest people in those photos are Zara Phillips, Prince William, and Catherine, but you can't tell because they're surrounded by
corpses.
Yeah.
And William is so fucking tall. Holy shit.
So bald. Like, I'm glad he's finally let go of the hair though.
Yeah,
there comes a time in every man's life where if there you go, but you've done the right thing. There comes a time when you go, it's time to meet the razor. Right?
Yeah, I was 22. 22 it had to happen. Yeah.
I've never
you were growing it
blonde
out
locks.
a couple months ago.
Oh, last spring, as like a joke, I had like the horseshoe like crazy. Oh yeah, for my cousin's wedding. She's like, please don't wear that to my wedding like that. So I wore it like till the day of, and then I shaved it again. But I just get lazy with it, so it's a little longer now than I'd like it to be. But
you just wanted to make your cousin just crazy right up until the wedding day.
That's it.
Nothing like a bit of
pain.
But...
Yeah, pain and torture. That's my MO. That's it. Let's push you through it.
That's why you fitted on this show.
His love language.
You're damn right. And you've only seen pain, Tim. You haven't even let me go yet. So
this is
very, very much censored radio after. So, yeah.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Radio.
We're gonna get so like there was the pomp and ceremony and all that kind of thing, but we buried the lead. Tim, you're not going to care about this, but everyone else on the panel will. Do you guys know what an equerry is?
An equerry, yeah.
Yeah. So they are like they're like an assistant / bodyguard to royalty. This is where the hot people are, ladies and gentlemen. They're definitely not. Besides Harry, who like was there, who was like out shaking all about. He's back on fucking a British Airways commercial. Whoop, see you later. In and out.
They treated him like the redheaded stepchild.
Well, he is the redheaded stepchild. So this is one of the Scottish guard, one of Queen Elizabeth's equerries, Johnny Thompson. Now, he's the one that started the craze. Yeah, bit of a smoke show, but they've been holding out on us. Check out Camilla's equerry.
Oh, all right.
This is wait, Rob Dixon, this is Prince William. Sorry, this is Lieutenant Commander Rob Dixon. Hello.
So he looks a little bit flamboyant.
This is Camilla's this is Camilla's equerry. Hold up.
Oh,
holy ballsack. Major Ollie Plunkett.
Yeah,
we're all about objectification of white men, so it's okay.
Do you reckon the coronation plays out like a bit like a wedding? Like afterwards, like Camilla and Charlie really went for it?
I don't know. She just came off as an old thing.
She was holding up that crown.
She was bossing
old wino, all dressed up pretty.
The kids around on the balcony. You stand here. You stand here. It's like, and that's what I love. Did you guys see?
I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, you didn't watch any of it?
Diana's should have been the queen. Fuck Carmilla.
Everyone thought she was there. Did you not see?
Yes, a little.
There was like a shrouded, like in black, holding a staff, like the person that rushed past the doorway. Everyone's like, "It's death! It's come!" It's like Princess Diana's there.
It's come for that old girl they were trying to hold up.
The other one,
I don't know.
Another one
Charles looked good.
Another one I saw was like Megan always has to steal the show. It's like,
oh
yeah, right.
The voice choir being dubbed over. I like vagina Camilla.
Hey, that's what it sounded like. I've seen two. I've seen two like interpretations of. I like vagina Camilla or wide backed vagina Camilla. If you go back and watch, it does sound like it. But they are reading her for film.
Oh yes, the chant. Yes.
Yeah.
All hail Regina Camilla, and it sounds like I love vagina Camilla.
Yeah.
In fairness, Camilla's vagina's done a lot. Like she went
famous.
from side chick to queen.
Yeah.
Like
it's torn apart a kingdom, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. You know,
yeah.
got someone murdered.
It's like a fractured fairy tale.
Allegedly. Yeah, you would think it's like a storybook kind of. Everyone's like Charles and Diana storybook romance. Didn't too well for the princess.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah, right. And looking back, you go, how creepy was it that she was 16 and he was 29?
Mm.
He was 18.
Iran. No, when they first met, she was 16.
But they didn't start dating till she was 18.
I know, but still, 16. You knew her when she was a child. You shouldn't be trying to marry that. That's not okay.
Old enough to be her father.
The same thing happened with the Queen and Prince Philip. So it's it's tradition in the royal family to be a little bit kind of creepy and weird.
I love Diana. She and I we're the same age. She stopped 36 and I kept going.
Checked out. Well, I don't think it was her choice, Vera. I don't think she was.
I know.
Excuse me, I'm out.
God.
She's like, allegedly.
Yeah,
I am going.
Allegedly,
I'm going to the UK later this year. I might not make it back.
Yeah, I think you probably
you guys
get it up there now.
Subjects of the crown, even right?
But if the equerries look like that, maybe I'll stay. Ho 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 ho.
Yeah.
That's my way into the royal family. I could do it. Me and what's the face will hang out together.
Camilla?
No, not Camilla. I'm not hanging out with Camilla. Me and Princess Anne.
You'd hang out.
Me and Princess Anne will hang out together and go, "You're not a queen." Did you know that she actually stole?
I would love to know if she said that. Did she really say that?
But she stole her boyfriend back in the day.
Yes, she did.
Oh, no wonder she hates her. I love it.
Parker Bowles. Parker Bowles was dating Anne.
I know. I'm
She's
all about it.
Trollop.
I think Anne's my new favorite royal. She's like, no, I hate my brothers. I'm like, I hate them too.
I don't know. She snubbed Harry. And then she set her feather in front of him.
No, they talk to each other. He goes, it looks heavy. Like that's who he was talking to when he was talking to someone. And she's like, whoa. She's like, oh, and she's like, oh. Harry flew commercial. They didn't even pay for him to get there. That's the biggest fuck you, isn't it?
Oh well. And he would have been checking his watch the whole time because he would have been in trouble if he was 2 minutes late home to Megan.
Hey, no, look, I think he's done the right thing. There's no reason there's no reason he had to go and put himself in that environment at all. And he did it.
He did it to show respect for the monarchy
and probably
and his father.
Probably the next time, like if it wasn't any clearer that you're the spare, let's have William, rub it in your face. Let's make it part of the ceremony, happen in front of you. Well.
Yep.
I don't. He's a bigger man than I'd be like, fuck them people. I'm just gonna sit here and spend my Netflix money.
Did you see?
That's what I've been doing. Sorry.
There was a popularity poll done. Who was the best person at the ceremony? 46% of the people polled said it was Harry.
Oh, how many voted for that old bitch that couldn't stand up?
Camilla got 2%, and I think Charles got like 16%.
I vote for Zara Phillips, who's there going, I feel the same, Zara. I feel the same. Zara's like, fuck this shit. I'm like, she's Princess Anne's daughter. Like, why am I even here? It's like,
I'm 35th in line for Succession.
The line of Succession's like, and the star of the show is obviously Prince Louis. He's the new Prince Harry. He's just like having full moments, and you can see Kate going, stop her. Just gentle taps on the shoulder. She's like, and you just, I love.
You can't even really lose it with your kid when you're on camera, can you?
Can't.
For the world to see.
She found that out at Meghan and Harry's wedding when she got caught going. At kids. But I love. Did you see the footage? He was in the carriage going, "What are you waving at?" It's like, I'm like,
and when he
this
was
kid
pointing at the window, like,
watch this kid. This kid's gonna be like the one, because he's like the spare. He's the spare of the spare. He's like. He's whatever.
The spare of despair.
That's what they call him. The spare of despair. How imagine being born, you're like, oh well, you're just parts essentially. It's like, okay, radio, cool.
How
Love to know.
Is that thought that they're spare parts as well as being the spare air?
I know. Just ask Danny Minogue how she feels.
Oh, don't. We love Danny.
She'll never be number one.
Oh, in my heart, she will be. But yeah, look. As much as the royalty is, a kind of antiquity that maybe should be left in the past. It's fun to look at. It's very fun to look at.
It's a lot of pageantry, but
you go, wow. There's that gold carriage could end world hunger, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I just want like the wheel to fall off or something.
Now, like I said, I didn't really watch, but I did, a lot of it intruded in my periphery. Was the crown specially made for Charles and Camilla at the tune of like $53 million?
I don't know. I feel like aren't they
the original crowns?
I feel that Charles's is the crown jewels.
Right.
So the crown that his mother would afford, and so on and so forth, that would have been altered for him. I feel like Camilla's, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who knows, is sourced from the crown jewels. So when you go to the Tower of London, they have the whole section with all of it there, and they, everything's on display. You can't take photos of anything or videos or anything like that. It's very like, oh. But I think it's sourced from the collection for the queen. It's been so long. Who bloody knows?
Well, no, I had heard somebody commented on TikTok or Facebook.
I think hers was made, but his is
$53 million pounds.
Well, it'd be the stones and all that kind of thing. But what a fancy hat! And then she was just a bitch trying to go, oh, don't touch my hair. Oh, I've had a blowout. Don't do it. Oh, it's like, fuck off. She looked in abject fear when it came near her. She was like yeah. Remember what happened to the?
It was cursed like Curiel.
I'd be like, yeah. Remember what happened to the last chick that was married to this guy when he put a crown on her head? You bitch.
So should we move on from Weekend at Charlie's with his dead guest?
We're gonna keep on with family drama, because family drama is everywhere, not just in royalty but also in Hollywood royalty. Now, Carrie Fisher got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame last week, posthumously as it is, but on hand to, support her and, take in her honor was her daughter, Billie Lourd, her co-star, Mark Hamill, which I think was lovely, and C-3PO and R2-D2. That's not the story, however. The story is who wasn't invited.
Yes.
Now, this bleeds into a little bit of old Hollywood, so Vera will be a little bit familiar with some of these names. Carrie Fisher's parents
Right,
Debbie Reynolds and Eddie
Debbie
Fisher.
Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher. Their children were not invited to the ceremony. None of Carrie's siblings were invited because Billy says that
They're
they tried to
half-siblings.
capitalize. Yeah, they tried to capitalize on her mother's death. That instead of contacting her, they directly went to the press about anything and everything to do with not only Carrie, but Debbie, who died days after her daughter. And that the first that she heard of it was the first that she heard of any support was through the media, as opposed to any kind of familial
Phone calls.
channels. So the most famous sibling is Jolie Fisher, who's also an actress, but the rest of them act and stuff. But so they're upset that they weren't allowed to honor their sister. The daughter is upset. The daughter is upset that they kind of bastardized her name. Who's in the right there? Is the question.
I don't think people should be running to the media about personal stuff and like, I don't know, capitalizing on grief, but then like look what Stormy Daniels is doing. So
I think there's a difference between when it is, something that is in the public zeitgeist, something that is interest to the public and legally binding and has something to do with the state of the free world, as opposed to someone's death who is your family member who you're supposed to care about and love and worry about, not only them, but their legacy.
Right?
Yeah, I don't blame Billy for being pissed off. I think she's well within her right to be pissed off with them. And if that means that if she gets the invitation extended to her and doesn't want to further extend it to them, then that's where the buck stops. Sorry.
As I remember it, and I could be misremembering it, I am older than dirt. There was always bad blood between the siblings, but that Carrie and Jolie had made up at one point, but then they had another falling out.
Yeah, drugs will do.
It all comes down to their. It all comes down to their parents. Some of them were more, some of them were more. Well, yeah, Eddie Fisher cheated.
Was Carrie the famous one, so they liked her more?
Eddie Fisher famously cheated with someone quite famous, and then went on to remarry and
he
have Jolie.
They were the second family.
Yeah, there's this whole thing. Eddie Fisher couldn't keep it in his pants, basically, and Debbie gave Debbie Carrie, and then it's definitely old Hollywood.
With
keep away from Elizabeth Taylor. It's basically the basic idea.
He was
Run
Debbie's
from
best
Elizabeth
friend,
Taylor.
and he started stooping her.
And see, that's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, he started sleeping with her." I'm like, "Well, if she's her best friend."
The whole thing kind
I'm like,
stunk.
that sucks.
Even if you should be able to count on it would be your spouse and your best friend.
No, they're too busy having quaaludes and drinking champagne and falling down and drinking the fun Coca-Cola with the cocaine in it and stuff, Debbie. Debbie, stop dancing. Stop dancing over there. And Elizabeth's like, I can't, I'm wearing furs, darling. It's just a whole thing. Life must have been so much
It's the whole thing that's happened in your mind, I think.
It would be so much imagine that. I'm going to the pool that cost us $2.50, but today it would cost $17 million.
And everybody sounds like Bette Davis.
Yeah, everybody sounds a bit like Bette Davis for some reason. It's my old Hollywood accent. Leave me alone. But I reckon fuck them people, right? I think Jeff is probably the person that would have the more relevant situation here. With,
well, look,
the
there's just a code of conduct too. Like, look, even on this show, like we know stuff about famous people and whatever. You don't go and spill dirty laundry for attention. It's cheap and it's gross.
Yeah,
unless there's money involved.
It is. It absolutely is.
And I think when it's your family, what would have it hurt to have support this this girl in her time of need when, you know, she's lost not only her mother, but then her grandmother days later. Like days later.
She was really young when they both died, though, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Just
Carrie
barely
passed away in
20?
2016. That's a long
Yeah.
time
A
ago.
while ago now.
That's a long time ago. Billy was I think only early 20s, if that.
Yeah, I thought she was
She's
just 20.
she's
She already had her film career going, but she was
yeah,
young.
she was doing the do, and I quite enjoy her. She's a great actress. She's very
She's
versatile.
kind of got that vibe of her mum though too. That like, you know, I don't give a fuck, but fuck you vibe. Like, it's.
I love Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
She's
that,
great.
I appreciate that. And
But
I
there
guess
is
that
little
comes with
bit
a lot of
that that
coke
is
too.
mental health.
Yeah, and a lot of
Hey,
coke.
a lot of cocaine, a lot of quaaludes, you know, all the good
There's
fun
a
stuff.
smidge of mental health problem there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we're gonna talk about the thing, but Jeffrey's not here to yell at us. So, of course, another week, another mass shooting, etc., etc. Our thoughts and prayers go out to families being affected again this week. But biggest asshole of the week award has to go to this woman, right?
Okay,
Did you guys
she was walking
Did
along.
you guys?
So I'll
No,
read
she
it for
was
the
on
listeners.
She was on her jog. She was on her jog with her AirPods on Do Not Disturb mode, and managed
Right.
to. This is in Atlanta. This wasn't in Texas because, you know, not more than one mass shooting a week because busyness.
Because it's America.
And found out that they are noise cancelling by running through the crime scene of an active shooting, and then deciding to post a
To
TikTok
post it
about
with
it.
the thumbs up. Hey!
Look
And
at
then
me.
as-
noise
but-
canceling.
This
Well,
is the
yeah.
scary thing because they've got a lot of stuff happening. Like, I don't know. I think narcissism is just the disorder is just through the roof now because everyone wants this gratification from social media, and like she just piggybacked off a mass shooting for attention. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is
Well,
where you got kids beating
one-
each other up and putting shit on TikTok, and it's just awful.
It's
There was a girl,
almost
right? Wasn't
impossible
there?
not to be desensitized to this?
Wasn't there like a couple of girls like a few years ago that kind of got in trouble for the same thing? They like took a selfie in front of like a fire or something that was like like I don't know, something crazy like that. But it's just like you said, it's just that narcissism and that
There was
poison
one
of
dude,
social
someone
media.
got-
You know,
Someone got stabbed and was laying there dead, still gurgling. So still alive enough probably to hear this dickhead while he's filming himself going, "Oh man, I just saw someone get murdered. He's dead, man."
like
Filming himself in front of him. I'm like, holy shit. Like, Grand Theft Auto isn't even fiction anymore.
no,
No.
yeah,
No.
it's all about the likes and the shares. You know,
Drive in this country.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this not
Delete
like
the
the
video.
perfect metaphor for America's attitude to gun violence? If I run
Yeah.
past it and don't hear it, don't see it, it doesn't happen,
Then
it
I
doesn't
can
affect
stand there
me.
and make a
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen if it doesn't directly affect me. It's okay.
My
I'm gonna be
prayers
famous.
saved me. My prayers.
Jesus. Jesus.
yeah.
Baby,
Am I the only person watching Queen Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm not a Bridgerton kind of girl, but that's
Oh.
okay.
Yeah,
How
no.
is it?
Well, Queen
How is
Charlotte, it's
Queen?
been very good. I am a Bridgerton kind of girl. I actually read the books.
Oh.
But
They-
Queen Charlotte has this thing she does where anybody's grieving, she's like, sorrow, sorrow, prayers. Sorrow, sorrow, prayers.
She's
And
got
that's all I
it.
could think of was like,
She
sorrow,
should run for
sorrow, prayers.
office.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just it's a very interesting
There's
moment.
a Schadenfreude to it at this point. You know, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
it's that. Yeah,
Yeah, as long as
Good
I change my profile picture to whatever town's flag that it's happened in, I support it, and I'm
Yeah.
all for it. But I won't write any of my Congress people or step up
Right.
and make noise about it. But I'll yell on my social media page about how much that makes me angry, and then I'll go grocery shopping. So
Well, 70%
And step over the
of us
people that got
support
shot
some kind of
there.
Gun control.
right.
You know.
yeah. That's just a quality of life issue that you have to worry. Like, she obviously,
Like I had to
she's
tell you guys, you were
she's
going to
also a
get shot
straight-
if we went to Boston.
she's a straight white woman. She's like, it's fine. Nothing bad will happen to me.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the Lifetime channel?
You're in for it. Run alone again, right? Like,
Or
As-
every
run alone
single
again,
news
bitch.
magazine.
Yeah, there's
It's
bitches
funny.
on the Lifetime channel hiding people's insulin and
That's-
adrenaline when they're having anaphylaxis. This bitch is
can't
like
even-
tucking it in a
I
bra.
can't even-
I can't
it's
find
someone-
it.
It's someone's I'm stealing a joke there, but it's Lifetime bad things happening to white women. That's the tagline of the network. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god. We had a bad thing. We have the news, basically. The news.
Yeah.
We did have something horrible happen to someone else.
Who?
Someone slept with 79-year-old Robert De Niro,
Oh my
who
god.
is going to be a father for the 7th
I know, that was
time
a shocker.
at 79.
Oh,
This kid
God.
isn't even gonna see. He's not gonna see this kid turn 10.
No.
He might, but he
He
mightn't
might.
be completely cognitive when he's
Where's
turning
Yeah,
Dad?
he
10.
might
Where's
be.
Dad? Where's Dad? He's in the
Mentally.
cupboard pissing himself.
He's watching
I
old
saw-
videos
when I
with
saw
Camilla
the
Parker
headline,
Bowles.
Robert De Niro,
Well,
that they were
He's going to be
tell
80, so
us
doesn't he run for president now? Right? Isn't that the deal?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Like,
De
and I'm
Niro
surprised
as
he's not,
president?
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm actually
I thought
surprised
he
he's
was.
not shooting blank.
I thought he was dead
Like-
too, Vera. When I saw
I saw
Robert
it
De Niro
popped up on my
79,
newsfeed,
I was
New
like,
York Times. Robert De Niro, and I thought he was dead.
yeah,
Didn't
I was like
Right.
79.
No,
I was
he's
like,
just their daddy again.
but
My
this-
God.
But like at
I have-
79, you really think that they're like, I can't believe he isn't shooting blanks. Like again, like that it's still, up and
the
running.
joys of
Like,
being a man.
Yeah.
Zero
I
to
mean-
the end.
yeah, she knows what the fuck she's doing though. She, those royalties.
Oh
they're
yeah,
gonna
she
keep
would have
coming.
had to do reverse cowgirl and everything. Like she would have had to do
Yeah.
the legwork. Yeah.
It's funny. I read an article. I read an
Can you
article
do
the
that in a
other day
wheelchair?
that, you know Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian's
Yes.
baby daddy. So, he birthed another kid. He had relations with another chick when he was with Khloe, right?
Right.
So I found out that he has to pay this woman like over $7,000 a month in child support. And like, what the fuck? Like, she fucked the right guy. Like, like,
Yeah.
know,
she
you
made the
just-
right fucking decision. Like, you're
If
literally
you're
just
throwing
having
it
to baby
around,
for the
you
money.
want to throw it in the right direction because that's 18 years of really good holidays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
Yeah.
you fuck somebody just to get the money. Like, that's purely a money baby. Like, and you feel so bad for the kid, but really, he's
The
gonna grow
term
up perfectly
Starfucker exists
fine.
for a reason.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's not that much money. $7,000 a month.
Look,
That's-
if I
They
could have
eat
went
all
out
jobs.
instead of having to pay
I'll
money
take
to
it.
have my child and just gone out and slept with someone rich and have them pay for me, I would
Yeah.
have done it. But
Yeah.
damn, the uterus just wasn't working.
I hate when that happens.
You ever ran
I
into
hate
anyone?
it. I hate it when a uterus goes on strike. You're like, "Oh, damn it." But I have serious questions about parenting at 79.
There isn't any.
There
He's
isn't,
not going
like-
to do it. But
Let's be
Steve,
honest,
what
he's a
kind of
movie
world do
star.
you live in where you think that all these rich people look after their own children?
But no, I'm just
Angelina
saying-
wouldn't look
Okay.
after
No,
her
no,
kids.
I'm
Kate
not even
Middleton
thinking
ain't
about-
watching those kids most of the time. Like,
I'm not
they just
thinking
got
about
handlers.
like the day-to-day parenting. I'm thinking of going, that person going to school. I have a mummy and oh. Who's your dad? Well, first of all, he's Robert De Niro, so fuck off. But he
Yeah.
was Robert De Niro. He was Robert De Niro. It's like,
Well, that's it, right? That's the only saving grace is that his money and his fame and all that
Yeah.
is what's going to carry this child.
That's
Thank God.
exactly. It's
But
the
like,
same
if he
as
was a
like,
normal, any other guy at 79 years old, this kid's life is ruined.
but look
Yeah,
at Sonia
exactly.
Kruger, who had her child through surrogacy here, Steve.
No one
But
knows who
she's a
that
TV
is.
presenter here. She's a TV presenter here, and she's quite wealthy and well known. And she had a baby in her 50s through IVF because she couldn't carry her whole life or something. So she really wanted a baby. But had she not been really, really wealthy and successful, I would say that's a really bad choice. But in her circumstance, it'll be probably fine.
I don't know. I think there's a big difference between 50 and 79.
Oh, there is, but there's a big difference between being poor and 50 and rich and 50, or rich and 79 and poor and 79.
Right, that's probably a larger dynamic, actually.
I feel sorry for those. I just feel sorry for the kid. It's like, of course, you're never probably going to want for anything.
That kid will never want for anything. Daddy might even be gone before too long, so won't even miss him.
I mean, like, I know we make light of it, and I agree, but there is something to be said about not having that part. You know what I mean? Like, there is going to be an emotional disconnect there that this child's going to suffer through in some stage of life at some point in some way, and no amount of money is going to repair that bond for him, you know, or her. So it's there is sadness, and hey, I mean, my father's alive and I don't see him. You know what I mean? Like, I have no relationship with him. So if I could replace that with a legacy like that, then it would definitely soften the blow. But it's still going to be there, you know.
Excuse me, sorry, Tim De Niro. I've got to go.
There is also a correlation. They haven't cemented the research yet, but there is a higher instance of mental health issues in children of geriatric fathers.
From that old G.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually really scary.
So how old is geriatric? Because I fathered at 34. Is that Jerry?
You're not Jerry. Geriatric 34 would be geriatric for a woman, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, where's the scale here? Because I know they tell women as soon as they hit 30, like, it's a Jerry pregnancy.
Yeah, no, anybody over 33 is considered a geriatric mother, but I think it's in the 50s or older for geriatric father.
Okay, all right.
Equity, not equality.
So we're just battling genetics now. Just the age isn't a factor, just the genes. That's good.
Right.
God help us all. God help us all, we have to say. All right, so
quickly.
I have a view from here this week that was probably going to ruffle some feathers. So. So
you're trying to cause fights now, aren't you?
All right, Drew, here we go.
It's always been, a hotly debated topic about kissing your children on the lips. Now, we've had people fall on either side of the argument, but we have had a psychologist, Dr. Charlotte Resnick, saying the simple act can actually do damage to both the child and their development. It can alter the child's understanding of personal boundaries, something that is crucial in childhood development. This is her quotes, not mine. Moreover, she also says, as well as a kiss on the lips and other intrusive practicing like tight swaddling, force feeding, aggressive tickling, send a message that their personal space is open to intrusion by others. If you start kissing your kids on the lips, when do you stop? She says. It gets very confusing. As a child gets to 4, 5, or 6, and their sexual awareness comes about, and then this is in brackets, and some kids have awareness earlier, as we notice, when they start masturbating at early ages. The kiss on the lips can be stimulating to them. She then adds, even if it never occurs to a child, it's just too confusing. If mummy kisses daddy on the mouth and vice versa, then what does that mean when I, little girl or boy, kiss my parent on the mouth?
Okay.
Oh, Jesus fucking
Christ. Who wants to dive into this one first?
Well, I mean,
I will. I'll take it. I'll do it. I'll go. I'll go.
Here we go, Tim.
So I think that this is a very fine line, and I do understand what this doctor or whoever is saying. I do understand that. I feel like I can remember being kissed on the mouth by my parents at a very small age, and then as I got older, it progresses to the cheek, right? So I think what we need to remember is that it is inherent of the parent to parent their child throughout that child's life. At At some point, you have to say, listen, if I do something, if anybody does something that makes you feel uncomfortable, then you need to make someone aware of that. This is what's inappropriate. This is it may be appropriate. If you feel uncomfortable doing any of those things, then speak your mind and say that you're uncomfortable doing it. Don't assume that nature will kick in at some point and this child just gets it. Like, some children may be confused and may need to be explained what happens. This goes back to not sending a child to a drag show if you're uncomfortable. And you know what I mean? Like, you have to parent your children. It's not up to society to parent your child. You chose to have a child. It is now your responsibility to parent that child and teach them the ins and outs of having to be a respectful person of society and having to respect other people's boundaries and have people respect your boundaries and moving forward with those boundaries. I don't understand why everything is so clear cut. No, this is confusing. Don't do it. Well, That's not fair. Some people are more affectionate than others. I have a grandmother who I love more than anything in the world. She's never said, I love you. But that's okay, because I know that that's how she communicates. I have a father the same way. But my mother was very affectionate. So I was never confused as to boundaries, but I was also raised in a house full of women who said, you're a man. It is your job to make sure you're not being imposing on a woman and respecting her boundaries, because I'm a human being to another human being. Everybody has different limits, different insight, different takes, whatever. So it's our jobs as individuals to respect the property and privacy of other people. So I don't understand why it's so like, no, you can't do it. No, because a child might get confused. It totally takes it lets parents off the hook who aren't doing the right thing.
Right.
That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. And if anybody feels differently, I will absolutely hear you out. That's just my opinion on the matter. So
Tim wins this
Sorry.
week, I think.
I wasn't raised in a demonstrative family. We didn't kiss. We always hugged, but we didn't really kiss. But
yeah.
But that's different strokes for different folks. Like,
Right.
but I can see where it would be confusing, but I have no experience with it.
there was a lot of issue, I think, a couple of weeks ago. It was Tom Brady, wasn't it, who was kissing his son on the lips. They'll have an issue
I think
with,
so.
with the way that he showed affection to his male child. It's like, okay, well, that might not be something that you're comfortable with in your little glass bottle over there. But why should that dictate how someone else cares for their child?
Right.
That child isn't getting harmed. That child is not like, that is how that parent is choosing to express their love for their child. And it's not like they're sticking the tongue down their throat and going,
Right. It's not like they're the Dalai Lama, It's just my tongue here.
It's a peck on the lips. Like,
and some children too need that affection. You know what I mean? There's some kids who don't get that affection. And they're like, well, why doesn't mommy love me? Why doesn't my mommy hug me? Why doesn't my mommy? It's like, oh, because we're not allowed to. Like some children need that development, need that extra development. I'm not saying all of them, but some children look for that type of thing and grow very productively and normally with that type of interaction. So it's just unfair to say that it's that black and white for everybody. I just don't.
You can absolutely kiss somebody on the lips and not have it be a sexual kiss.
Yeah, why is everything? Not everything is innately sexual.
Right.
No.
Especially
when it comes to my own kids.
It if that's their normal method of affection. It's unfair too.
Right.
But it's my own kids though. Like it's my own kids. Like my son, whenever I go, like he's only 18 months, and he'll lean in and give me a kiss on the lip. My daughter sometimes. I go in for her cheek because I don't know. I don't kiss my kid on the lip.
I always go for the cheek too. Yeah.
Right. But with my daughter, I always go for the cheek. And
my daughter's trying to kiss the other lips, and I'll sort of just turn my face and be like, "I'll kiss it here." It's just what's comfortable for me.
She always but sometimes she'll grab my face, and then I see her kissing my husband too. Sometimes I'll be like, "Get off my man!" I just make a joke about it. Also, it's really just whatever she wants. Because then, 2 nights ago, she goes, "Mommy, can I give you 10 kisses on the cheek?" Of course you can. Whatever you want. But I'm not
It's
going
give-
into her lips on lips. You know, I'm
Yeah,
going into her cheek
It's
on
also
cheek.
giving
She
that
wants what
child
she's
agency to do what they're comfortable with. Like
And
I
your
remember
kids are little too.
when my friend's son was little, he would just
Yeah.
like he'd come at you like you're like, oh, I'm just gonna cop this wherever it lands. Like
Yeah.
no, here. He's like It's like okay. Cool.
Yeah.
He's just turned 7, and I went over for his birthday. And he gave me a hug and he kissed me on the cheek. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
I
Like,
grew
there's-
up. I mean,
there's nothing
Italian.
wrong
You
with
walk
that.
in, you give everybody
Yeah.
a kiss on the cheek. Hello. That's what it is.
No
Like,
one. This is the thing. No one's forcing that child to do that.
Right.
They're
And
saying,
that's
they're
something
saying
else.
that. Yeah,
I don't
I'm sorry, I
saying
didn't
that
interrupt.
that's damaging. That's right. They're saying that that's damaging when parents go, give so and so a kiss.
Right. Yes. That I can see. I could, like, if the child's uncomfortable, why are you going to force that child to be
yeah,
uncomfortable?
no, I don't.
But
You know,
let
like,
them
I-
decide. Let them decide how they
Right.
show emotion
Right.
to the people that they care about.
Right. And then
All
they
I
can
know is
establish
the world
what
now.
is their own boundaries, right? I mean, that helps
Yeah.
establish your
Right.
own boundaries at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
So,
And we got people trying to impose their boundaries on other people, and it's like, no, like, you know, we can all make our own boundaries in our family units, I'm sure.
well,
Right.
that goes back to the narcissism point you made with social media, right? It's like now everybody's in everybody else's business. And it's like, well, I don't think that's right. And it's like, well, quite frankly, I don't really give a shit what you think because I'm raising my family how I feel they should be raised. Maybe I'm doing it right, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but this is how I was raised, this is how my parents were. You know, like you find that tradition within your family that's worked. So whatever you guys do in Australia, I'm sure is way different than what we did in the United States too, or what they're doing in Italy, or what, you know, it's different, and that's okay. I don't understand why it's not allowed. We're not allowed to be different anymore. You know, it's like,
But like, okay, like you can clearly attest to this. My daughter was terrified of Tim when she first met him,
and rightfully so. Yeah.
and it would be funny because we were like, "Oh, scary Tim," you know. But now she's like, "Oh, Timmy, Uncle Teddy," like, you know. It's just
Yeah. Now she
let
acts
them
from
figure it
like
out.
her.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now she seeks him out, and it's just you have to get them used to it. And
Kids
I
will
never
learn,
forced
yeah.
her on you either. It was just
Right,
okay. Well,
right.
Kids will
And-
learn.
you get to know him from a distance at first. Like, you know, if
Yeah.
you get comfortable with it, I'm not going to force you because you know
Right.
you're just going to cry. Like, I'm not doing anything to my
But-
kids that I don't think is inappropriate. I would never put my kid in a bad situation. And again, that comes back to good fucking parenting and parenting
Right.
your kids.
Yep,
I'm not going to be.
Vera.
I'm not going to
And
force them to do
we
shit.
kind of have to stop stigmatizing how other people do shit. You know,
Right. 100%.
other people don't
Yeah.
belong in our bedroom. Other people don't belong in our family dynamics. You know, it's not really somebody else's business if you still kiss your child on the lips or if you kiss them on the cheek.
Right.
You know,
And
It's
especially, I think you
if
can
you're
speak
not
to it
doing
too.
any harm, stay the fuck out of it. It's not your business.
As someone
Exactly.
who hasn't had their own biological children, there's also another like, why is that child kissing you? But it's like because I look after that child. That child cares
Right,
about
right.
me. Like
Right.
I'm not some like whoa kisses. Ah, that makes me stronger. Like baby kisses. It's not my it's not my thing. It's just
No,
sometimes, as I
no,
said, sometimes
everyone
you-
I can attest for that. Steve feeds off their tears. Not off their
Yeah.
kisses.
sometimes you just don't have a choice. If you've got like a toddler or a kid that is overly affectionate, they will show you that they are affectionate. They will like, oh, I'm gonna hang off you. I'm just gonna like all of a sudden latch onto your cheek. It's like they will show what they know and how they feel.
What about like these? They're like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there women who like breastfeed like children to like what I would consider to be kind of like a crazy age, you know, like toddler age? Like, wouldn't that
You're
send
Yes.
Well,
like a
older.
crazy message? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, how
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I would never tell a woman to not breastfeed, but I feel like that would
Yeah.
be more confusing to boundaries. No,
You
I
can
don't know.
breastfeed till they're 7, but don't kiss them on the lips.
Yeah, right. Like, whew.
Does that make him gay or something?
Well,
Yeah.
God help us.
Yeah,
Get back on mummy's
so
titty.
silly.
Yeah. Stop being gay and kissing your dad and suck on your mum's boob already. I know.
Yeah.
So,
Oh
And it-
gosh.
I think after teeth, the breastfeeding has to go.
Yeah, that's
Just
what
Yeah,
I
I couldn't imagine.
The only
Evolution-wise, that's when they can chew
Cut it
stuff,
off.
right?
anyone that's had
Yeah.
anyone that's had a nipple bitten nose, just that too hard, like ow. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
hello. I breastfed two
No, thank you.
children.
I like it.
And
So
Everyone
I'm
Yeah.
kind of
saying
just
it.
went there. It was like,
I cut it off.
not
at, like,
too hard though. There's that line where you're like, did that come off in your mouth? Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's like American Psycho biting somebody, and then there's like,
Yeah, it's like there's
So-
sexy times, and then there's I need to eat you, Jeffrey Dahmer kind of vibes. But you know,
Or Cape
It's
Fear.
who knows? All right, Vera, are you feeling
I'm a
warm?
little warm.
You're a
Gonna have
little
to be a
warm.
wolf vent here.
Okay, here it comes, ladies and gents. It's time for Vera Man.
My favorite picture of my whole
Right.
life.
Now,
All right,
Vera's
V.
just come off the stage, so she's also going to have a lot more passion in this event. I can feel it with all that stage
No, it's
Here we
possible,
go.
actually.
3, 2, 1, event.
Well, we do know, we did touch on it earlier, that Donald Trump was found liable today in the E. Jean, or yesterday, or whatever day it was, the E. Jean Carroll case. And a lot of people were looking to me to be happy and excited and, oh, did you hear? Did you hear? And yesterday when we were in negotiations, one of the team members flipped his phone across the table so I could see that Santos was arrested. And they were expecting this kind of glee from me that I can't work up, because I'm not going to be cheerful about the fact that we've been electing criminals. I do want them prosecuted. I want anybody in public office, if you are in public office and you betray public trust, you need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I support the law finding these criminals. You know, everybody's like, oh, this one did it and never got caught. It's like, no, they were pretty much investigated. Richard Nixon was investigated and he copped a bargain. He decided to resign rather than be charged. Bill Clinton was investigated for 3 fucking years and they couldn't find anything but the blowjob. Hillary Clinton was investigated for almost 6 years and they couldn't charge her with anything. I am not against public people being charged. If they are committing crimes, they need to be jailed or charged or found liable or whatever the law says. But I don't think we need to take joy in that. I think we need to feel sad that we have gotten to a point where we elect criminals without care. There are people who are still behind Donald Trump and still think that he's going to be our next president in 2024. And that thought gives me pause. There are people who are saying they still vote for George Santos in spite of the fact that he's admitted all his crimes out loud, you know? And there are 6 people on the Supreme Court who are clearly in violation of all sorts of ethics. And do I care if they're Republican or Democrat? No. If they took illegal money, if they have sold influence or peddled influence in the court decisions, which they clearly have, they need to be investigated and they need to be held accountable to the full extent of the law. But I will never be gleeful about finding out that a public official has broken the law. Was that passionate enough for you?
It was.
Swooped back in.
It was-
Good work, Christina. Good
It's
work,
quite a
Vera.
sad state of affairs.
As
Okay,
per
Vera.
usual. Yeah, it's when you are looking for your, we're looking towards these people to, run the country.
Well, they
can't
should
even
have
run their own
integrity,
lives.
and a lot of them don't have integrity, and that's what.
None of them do.
I think
None
a
of
lot
them
don't
anymore.
have integrity.
Hey, but
I
if they had
support
it, if they had
any
integrity,
public
we wouldn't
official-
have a show.
Any public official being investigated.
We
Go
would
ahead.
not have a show if they had if they had integrity. But we've wrapped it up this week. So thank you for joining me again, folks. Thank you everyone out there for tuning in. If you don't already, you should be following us and if you miss out on the video show, you can listen back. We are an audio podcast as well. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Blog Talk, and tune in. And if you are not already, can you please do us one favor and go and join our YouTube channel, which is Uncensored Radio. Follow us there. Most of you are already here on Facebook, but we also have Instagram and Twitter. We need the love, y'all. We need to feel the love. So make sure that you, even if you're watching it on playback, which a lot of people are these days, send a comment through. Let us know what you think, and if you want to get some groovy merchandise, there's also uncensoredradio.shop because we need to make some money to keep this hamster wheel turning. So thank you for joining us.
Next level.
Ladies and gentlemen. I know. Before I leave, though, we do have to mention, if you have no Mother's Day plans and you're in the Scranton area, Jeffrey Emmett is taking the stage, doing a little stand-up. As of at least 16 hours ago, still nothing ready. So
no, that's not true.
I would love to see what Jeffrey comes up with. Well, I'm sure he will have.
Are we going to get the show streamed?
I wish we
Are they going to film it?
I wish we could.
Or film it. They should film it, and I'll edit it and broadcast it.
Vera's gonna be able to give us a front row.
I have my tickets and my room reservation.
There you go.
Vera, we want a full review after.
Yeah.
And go all in.
Tape it if they let me.
It's like uncensored Harvey, uncensored Vera, just for Jeffrey's stand-up. Ladies and gents, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week on UCR Live. Bye-bye.
Does blowing kisses violate
Tim's leaning in there to see if his name's still in the title.
Well, when you said it a couple of weeks ago, the credits got cut, and they didn't play. So then I wanted to rewatch the show, and it wasn't on there. So I was like, oh man, I missed it. So I had to make sure I leaned in to see it.
Kisses everyone, but not on the lips, because that's